Final Four alone, again, expected to generate about $400 million into the economy. Visit Indy is out with some new numbers showing how tourism continues to drive really billions of dollars of impact in the economy. And Visit Indy Executive VP and Chief Business Officer Chris Gahl joins me now to break down the numbers and have some breaking news on this as well. Chris, it's always great to see you.
Thanks for having me on, Gary.
You had your annual State of Tourism event and some news generated from the event this year, in particular the NFL Combine, which Indianapolis has hosted virtually from the beginning. You got it for another 2 years.
We were ecstatic. 1,300 business leaders joined us for our State of Tourism. Pat McAfee was our award winner for all he has done to promote Indianapolis, and he announced from the stage, not 1 but 2 years, we've extended the Combine for 27 and 28. We had been operating under year in and year out contracts. We were really hopeful for multi-year because the convention center is growing and more groups want into those dates and space. So now we can protect it and grow it for 2 years into the future.
Why is that? You know, Indy has really, in large part, built that event. Why is it important to get this additional 2 years?
Well, the Signia by Hilton will open, the convention center expansion will open, they can grow into that space. When we look to potentially, alongside the Indiana Sports Corp, go for a draft, we need those NFL executives on the ground routinely so that they see our city growing and they have the confidence into the future. And it signifies, when the NFL says yes to a city, it signifies a strong city.
Some news also, Chris, you can talk about, and that's the NFL draft. Indy, lots of cities going after future drafts, Indianapolis, one of them. The NFL has said that when they're in town for the Combine, they're going to look at some sites downtown.
That's right. The Indiana Sports Corps and Visit Indy and the CIB will take them literally to the sites we think they should have their eye on as it relates to the draft into the 30s. And we've not taken that step with them. And so we're really anxious to showcase during the Combine the draft's possible locations.
Can you talk about those potential sites?
Military Park, we think White River State Park, we think the south side of Lucas Oil Stadium are all primed to gather tens of thousands of people together for that kind of event.
Yeah, big event. We'll keep tabs on that. Also broke some news in terms of breaking a record, and that's in terms of the number of booked hotel rooms in downtown Indianapolis. Broke a record in 25.
We did. You know, 2024 in the history of Indy tourism was our busiest, and yet we eclipsed that as it relates to how many downtown hotel rooms were sold and occupied. More downtown hotel rooms than any time in the history of Indy tourism. And so that is a lead barometer, an indicator that when people are checking into our hotels, they're spending money and generating more economic impact. So we were ecstatic that more people are checking out Indianapolis.
Momentum continues. Look at this year, 2026. Chris, Final Four, as we mentioned earlier, obviously. You got a big business convention later in the year. Hotels opening as well.
The Signia is opening. The Convention Center expansion is opening. The American Society of Association Executives, the Super Bowl of meetings, 5,000 meeting decision makers. 50% have never been here. They have the power of the pen to sign contracts. We'll have the ultimate August showcase of our city, and we think that will generate $800 million in future economic impact because of that one conference happening in 4 days here in Indianapolis.
Chris Gahl from Visit Indy. Momentum continues in Indianapolis. Thanks for joining us as always.
Thanks for having me on, Gary.
All right.